Hey guys, hello, and welcome to the stream. We'll be continuing coding our startup. I guess you guys have not seen the complete, like, there is, I don't know why the folder name is it, yeah. Okay, so some of the goals of this particular video is, I don't know what's the goal. Let's get started. Yarn dev. This is just me coding. I hope so you guys will learn something. So yeah. Hey Jay, are you starting a startup? Sort of. It's not a full, yeah, almost a startup. Projects. Let's go to projects and let's try to create some. Maybe my project, some project, and let's try to create this. Yes, it's created in the bottom. One more thing I would like to see is whichever project is created at the most latest project should appear on the top. So let's do that first. So for that we'll go to the projects thing, and this is from where we get the project. So we say create projects and get projects. So here what we have to do is we have to say order by and then created at true. What's it about? Not created at, what do you mean? So it's about basically I want to create an automated Scrum management system. So like, you have so if you have worked in industry, like if you have worked in like software industry, there's something we follow, it's called Scrum, right? And I've tried a lot of tools. I have tried like Azure DevOps and like a lot of other tools, and I feel that you just have to do a lot of work manually. Like you have to actually go and fill a lot of data manually every single day. So you have to update your tasks, you have to update your all of those things. I want them to be automated, and they should be connected to GitHub, and you should be able to like automatically, like all the tickets should be updated automatically, and you should have all the reports and all the things. Most of the things I want basically mostly like an AI driven automated Scrum management system. You can say that, like, roughly that is what I want to make. Okay, so yeah, that's the product, rough idea of the product. Yeah, so first of all what we have to do is we have to I don't know why did not work. It is order by, right? Order by, I mean, if you guys want like a technology overview, I can give you that. Created at I want it to be descending, I guess. So if I refresh this, yeah, so all the latest projects, the projects which are created the most latest, will appear on the top. The technology, the tech stack which I'm using for this is trpc. First thing, so the entire backend is in trpc. The front end, the full stack framework is basically the Next.js. For the UI I'm using shardcn. I don't know how to pronounce that word, shardcn, whatever that is. That's what I'm using. And for as like for the CSS stuff, I'm using Tailwind CSS. And for the authentication, I'm using Clerk. That was the rough idea of the tech stack. Yeah, so if I click view detail, you probably would be able to see a full detail of whatever there is, and then you can basically switch things from here. So if I go to sprints, you can see sprints, and the first thing what we need to do second, like after this, is having the ability to create sprints. So let's quickly do that. So let's go to sprints. There you go. So the problem is we are doing like this is rendered in the server, so we need to find some way to trigger the, I don't think so there's a way directly. So I have to create like a prints .tsx, and then I'll do like rfce, and then like, yeah, that's kind of okay. And this has to be rendered in the client, so we'll say use client, right? And the reason why I'm not directly doing in the page, you will see that, I mean, yeah, you will see that in a while. So first thing, like all of the things which is here should not be here. So this is not required over here. This needs to be transferred to this particular place. I don't know what the hell am I doing. This is correct. So after this, all the things which are over here, like these things should also be transmitted to over here, and then this should also be transmitted to over here, and then the imports, right? So let's take care of the imports. So I think we would need all of them. So all of this would be required as an import, and what we'll do in the parent page, like page component, I'll discuss that in a while. So okay, what happened, bro? Why are you angry at me? Prevent client component from being async. Oh, because, oh, that makes sense. So client component cannot be async. So what we'll do is let's fetch this directly. So instead of using this, I mean, this is server side. So instead of using this, can you explain trpc? Is it like express? No, bro, it's not like express. trpc is like an rpc. I'll explain you. Hold on. Let's first get this up and running. So I have to do like trpc client dot sprints dot get all sprints, and then there could be dot use query, and then yeah, what do you mean, huh? Okay, so it requires some argument. That argument is basically the project id, I guess. Args dot project id, args dot params dot project id. Yeah, that's kind of fine. So now you don't get directly the sprint. Basically trpc is very simple, bro. trpc is sort of express, but it is very, very type safe and very, very easy to handle. So I'll just explain to all of you guys who are interested. This is how trpc works. Okay, so you declare kind of like, you have a thing called procedure, right? And you have a thing called router, right? So router is like you so I'll just show you one of the routers which I've created. For example, let's see projects one. Okay, so you could simply create some routes, and you can create all the definition of the route, like where you actually handle the routes. You create that with the help of procedures, and you can mention all the, like, for example, all the inputs which you would have, all like the handling of those of that particular route. You can mention it like this, right? And then what you can do is you can export the type. So if you see, like if I go to like index, you can see we have exported the type of the entire router, right? And if you and we directly use this type in the front end. So your front end and back end is extremely type safe. I know a lot of this wouldn't be making sense for if you haven't tried this, but I would say just try this. I might create a full video on trpc someday, and then it would make more sense. What are we building? We're building a sprint management system, bro. You'll get it, like, eventually when as soon as I'll continue, we'll get it, what I'm trying to do over here. So data will be projects or like sprints, right? And then there will be an error, which is sprints error, right? So you have an error, and then you could have you can have a loading state, and then whatever is loading is kind of fine with me. So I can say is loading, like no, I don't know, says loading. Yeah, that's stupid. It shouldn't be loading. Yeah, that's okay, because I want to create an MVP. So I think I do have an empty sort of like loading component. So do I have a loading? No. Clerk loading. What do you mean by clerk loading? Okay, so let's create a loading component first. So where's my component? So we'll create a loading.tsx, right? A const loading. A const loading is basically return a div export default loading. Yeah. So I have been trying to find opportunity or an internship around web development, but it seems very difficult to do so. Any tips to find in something? Bro, it's actually very hard right now to get an internship or anything like that. What could be the tips? Apply more, bro. Create more projects. The thing is, for freshers, getting hired at this particular time is very, very difficult because the market is is in a state which it's not very good. So yeah, I would say create more projects. Focus on getting like more skills instead of just sprints pages. So we can, yeah, rather than like just college degrees. And the college degrees, they're not helping you to get a job, anyone who is trying to do. So I would say get more projects on your resumes, have actual skills. So, or you could learn something which is having very less competition, so like machine learning and all, where people like, well there is less people available. Web development, bro, it's a little bit hard because everybody is doing web development. That's one of the things. Okay, let's try to create the loading screen first. So class width full height. Okay, justify center, item center. Okay, what are we building? We are building Scrum management, ticket management system, like Jira and all those things, but it is all automated, AI driven. Probably I'll not finish all of it today. It will be very, very like a lot of streams. Exactly. Now if someone wants to enter, should be consistent doing projects, work on social skills. Yeah, working on social skills will definitely help. The problem right now is, see, first of all, there are less roles, right? So as an engineer, if let's say there's a role in my company, what happens is, if you guys, like a lot of you have contacts, right? You have your friends in the industry, then it's very easy because you could ask them for referrals. You could, like, they hire their friends first, right? That's the usual nature because they already know how they are, right? So that's one thing, right? So that's the problem. So first of all, you'd have to create a lot of connections. That is surely going to help. Second, get more skills, get rare skills. Rare, I mean, which are not a lot of people like are there in that industry, and there's a scarcity a little bit. That is very good advantage. Second thing is, you could work on a lot of projects which are really, really good, which makes you extremely stand out. That could be something which you could, that could help you to get a job. So let's get something loading. So there's something called loading.io, I think. So this is a good website for getting loaders. I just want something very simple, nothing complex, extremely simple UI. I think this looks good. We can customize this with whatever color we are using, definitely. But let's download this. It will ask me to create the account and all, which I just don't like. I can copy the SVG directly from here, I guess. Can I? Is that possible? Yes, that is possible. If I say but that's not, I don't want to do that. This is good. Yeah, let's try to download this. I want a GIF. No, GIF is good. Yeah, GIF. But it will ask me to sign in. Let's sign in. Who cares? Okay, I'm trying to sign in right now. Continue. Yeah, there you go. Please, can you give me my GIF? There you go. Download. Thank you. Okay, finally we have our GIF, which we can place. Oh, why did I download GIF? I should have downloaded SVG, bro. Animated SVG, that's better. Download, because I can change the color and all then, like if I have the SVG. So we have the public folder over here. We can We can drag and drop that there, and we can say this is loading, right? .svg. We'll think about colors later on. First, let's place this over here. img, not this one, but image from React, and yeah, this is cool. This will be very, very big. Yeah, I was actually guessing it. So let's have it like 30 30. That kind of makes sense. No, 30 50. It's 30 30. That's very small. 50 50, something like that. This is better. You can so let's give the user an option to supply a title, which will be string and which will be optional. So if there is a title, right, if there is an option, so it says moreover the pattern, if I notice that people come and say I know React Vue Next but couldn't rank themselves more than 6 in JS, they have no idea basic JavaScript. Yeah, bro. See, React, you know, if your base is not strong, what if, like, it doesn't matter how much React you could do, you will always get stuck and you'll spend hours fixing very basic problems, but just because you don't know the basic, like what is the underlying stuff which is there inside React. So that's learning before anything, bro. It goes with anything. If you want to work with Rocket, which is the Rust based framework, you'll have to learn Rust first. If you want to work with Next.js, you'll have to learn JavaScript first. If you want to work with anything, that goes with anything basically. So let's actually, like, if the title is available, right, then we can place the title. And first of all, the p tag I just hate, so let's have dev, right, and then yeah, and let's try to pass the title from here. Fundamentals are essential. Exactly. 100% agreed from you. So loading, something like that. Yeah, but I don't want the horizontal. It shouldn't be horizontal, it should be vertical. So to achieve that, what we can do is we can just say flex call. Yeah, there you go. So that's looking good. Second, what I want to do is I want to change the color of this loading SVG. I think I can do fill or something like that. What is this color? Background. Oh wait, where there was a background stuff. So it's giving some RGB. I want like this to be blue or something like that. What is that color? What is my primary color? Like blue. Can I have a normal blue? Like, scrolling, man, this is annoying. I can say simply blue. Will that work? I don't know. Should work. If I say blue, it has, I don't know. Why is it not working? I mean, there should, oh, this is the stroke. So I can simply give it blue. Should work. Yeah, there you go. But that's not the blue which I want. We want some other kind of blue. What's the exact color? I think I can get it in my Tailwind config. Tailwind, where is Tailwind config? And here's all the colors. So background, what is this color, bro? I mean, I think in my CSS file it will be there. There you go. But what is this? What is that color? What is the I think I'm using this. So let's go to shardcn. Let's go to themes. Now I think I'm using this blue one only. I think so, not sure. So it's blue, but what is this? I mean, can I get the color value, RGB value for this? Yeah, this is the HSL value. I can use the HSL value. That works for me. Instead of blue, it will be this. So that would match exactly the theme. Yeah, that's better. So this will be a loading state. Good. Now what we can do is we can go to the sprints, and rather than this, we can say return this only if loading. So we can say is loading, not and basically return, there's a if is loading, right? Then we can return that. Yeah, that's cool, we can do that. So great. So if it is loading, then it will return that. But right now we are seeing constantly that loading because in the pages we have written loading, which shouldn't be the case. It should be sprints. And we'll be doing SSR over here. So if you're curious why are we even doing something like that. So so first of all, this should be const const sprints is equal to something like this. I mean, I like arrow functions, but it is still angry with me because I am not passing that whatever. So we take whatever args is there and we pass it over here. I mean, are you serious? Do I really need to do this? I don't think so. Yeah, there you go. Even if I yeah, should be happy, I don't know. Yeah, good. So I'm having no sprints because it did not got any sprints with that particular ID, which completely makes sense. So now we can go over here and we can see other stuff. So we have sprint error. We would return something else for the errors. So let's do the error thing. So instead of sprint.length, we can do sprints.length. Great. No, sprints.length. What do you mean, huh? Yeah, that completely works, bro. Come on. What happened? Sprints is possibly null. Okay, then question mark. There you go. Yeah, so great. So now to make sure that now we have to create a dialog box which opens when we create this create and it goes like true, and we don't need that, by the way. Yeah, so create a new sprint shouldn't be a link now. It could be a normal like a button or something like that. So we can, instead of, there's no need of href, so it could be a button. And instead of having css like this, we could create it much more simpler. So we can say class, and we can give a gap over here. So we can say gap2, and then you can see add sprints appearing over there, right? So that could be the primary action of the page. That's completely fine. Next thing what I want to do is I want to basically have an on click. This on click should do what? This on click should basically will create a state over here, and we'll call it add sprint modal open. I don't know, something like add sprint add modal open. Hey Nikhil, what's up? How are you? And say set add modal open. So this will be basically the so this will be basically the state. So we can say use state, and then we can give false over here because by default we don't want the modal to be open. So I don't know, replace d. Yeah, cool. So we have add modal open, and then after this what we can do is we can start adding the modal. So for the modal, what I would like to do is I would like to create a different component over to our in the components library. So we'll say it add new sprint modal, right? And then what we can do is we can say use what now, we can say rfce, and then we can say whatever, that completely works for me. And then second thing what I would do is I'll just do use client because I want to render this in client. Okay, the next thing what we can do is we can pull up the dialog documentation from shardZN. So you can say a dialog, not this one, yeah. So there you go. So this is something what we want to do. So if the library is already added, so these are the different things which you would require. So we'll say dialog, and I don't want to add this with radix. I mean, that's cool. And then I want to say dialog, no dialog trigger, that will have differently. So no dialog trigger, we'll say a dialog content, and then we'll have dialog header, and then we'll have dialog title, and title will be create a new sprint, right? Dialog description, sprints used to, yeah, that's cool. AI is helping me, see, sometimes AI is good. Okay, so the next thing what I'll do is I'll just keep this open, so it's open, I mean, by default. We'll not be using this dialog trigger or anything like that. We can go in the sprint and we can render this over here. So we can say what, add new sprint, whatever. Of course we'll pass open, close and all those things later on, but wait, why is this not visible? I think we have done something wrong. Oh, we have imported all these from radix. I mean, that's stupid. I don't want to import this from radix. Everything should be imported from UI dialog. Yeah, now this is okay. So now you can see we have created something. At least we have create a new sprint and a sub header. Now we have to create a form. So you would be actually, you guys will be amazed by how easy it is to handle like backend and front end stuff with trpc. So all of you guys just get ready for getting amazed. Okay, so we'll call it div, and then what we will say is we'll say margin top 2, something like that. Cool. And then let's start. Wait, hold on. Yeah, cool. So we'll start by creating a form. So we'll call it a form, right? And then we'll create a normal form. So before that, here what we'll do is we'll add something called form use form. So we are using a React hooks form. So React hook form for handling all the forms in our project. So now we have form over here, and then what we can do is we can go over here and we can say dot form, right? There you go. That kind of takes care of a lot of things. We can just get rid of this action for now. I'll tell you how to do all those form summation, handle all those things. So, but before this, I'll just do form field. I think that's how you do it. Form field or form. I don't remember this. Add. How did I handle form over here? It's called form field, and then you have form item. Okay, so that's, I always have the confusion. It is like form item or form field, which is the first one. So it's form field, right? And then you could have something called a name over here. And the first thing which I would like is the name of the sprint. Okay, and the next thing which I would like is, no, I don't want that. So then we have a render, which gives you that field, right? And then I don't want that input, bro. That's not the thing which I want. I want an form item, right? And it could have form label, I guess. Form label will be what will it be? It will be name, right? And then it will be and then we can say form control, which will be an input, right? Right, and then we can pass all the fields. I think what was that field, right, to this. Cool. And yeah, good to go. So you can see the name over here. The name is appearing over there, and it's looking great. Next thing what we can do is we can have like similar other stuff. So I would like to have one more thing, which is form error, I think, which will help us to show errors. Form message, I think that's what you call it. Yeah, it's called form message, which is used for all the errors and all. I think so, that's what you call. Yeah, it's called form message. Okay, so then what we can do is for creating sprints, you would need like this, and I think you would need a date, like from when to when you want the sprint to be like there. I think it would be in the future, it would be in the settings, so it would be a default choice. So it will be like 7-day sprint or 12-day sprint. So it will automatically create the next sprint with that particular range. But right now, let's make it selectable, right? So you can say date range, like select duration. Duration, that's a stupid title. Can you guys suggest me a nice title for how to do this? Okay, so let's have some space between all the controls which we have. So from the form, what we can do is we can just go to class and we can say space y3. So there's a decent amount of spacing between all the elements. So we have name, select duration. Duration is not our input type, it's a date selector. I don't know, does this have a date picker? It has a date picker. That's amazing. So we have a date picker. I think we'll have to add this. How to use this? How to use this? Do I have to do I have to add this or something? What's the way? Date fns UI popover. How do you have date? Like, and calendar. Okay, so we'll have to, I think, either get calendar or something like that. We need how to use this. I'm just curious. Looks interesting. So preview, like I want just this kind of thing, but I want a range or something like that. Like I want to be able to select a range. Do I have any complex examples? Yeah, exactly like this. Like this is exactly what I want. I can copy paste the code, I guess. Range picker. Interesting. So I like, yeah, let's do this. So let's go in the app and let's go in the components and let's create a date a range picker .tsx, right? And let's paste this over there. Great. So we don't have a lot of things like radix UI icons. So let's quickly install them. So we add radix UI icons. Then we don't have date fns. Let's quickly add that as well. So we add date fns and then react day picker. So add a react day picker, and then we need calendar. So I think we'll have to add calendar. So this is how you add it. npx shard zn add calendar. Great. I think that would solve a lot of our issues. Yeah, great. So oh, popover is still not sorted. So we'll have to go to popover. I think it's added like, yeah, quite in a quite similar way. So we can take it for yarn, paste it over here, and there you go. Great stuff. So now we have added all those stuff. That means we should also have the same date picker range, whatever we have. So pretty good. Okay, so now instead of where is that? So instead of this, what we can show is we can show react date picker. What was that, bro? Didn't I exported this? Yeah, react date picker range, react date picker with range. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Great. Do we have that? Element expected a string or class name composed but undefined. Would you like to export your component from the file? It's defined in you. Oh, there's first of all react. Let's do something like this. Yeah, and let's export this over here separately. Export default date picker with range. Exactly, that should solve our issue probably. What is wrong? Element of type invalid. Expected a string. Element of type invalid. Check the render method of slot clone. What do you mean by slot clone? We don't have that. Pretty weird. Can we? Oh, this is a client is the, yeah, this is required to be a client component. Why would this not work? You likely forget to export your component from the file it's defined in, or you might have mixed up default and named export. You can drop your LinkedIn. Oh, you want to link my LinkedIn? What is my LinkedIn? I don't know. Probably this one. This is my LinkedIn, bro. Why, bro? Come on, we just copied your code. That means that should work, right? Didn't want this one, so this is kind of good. But if I go to code, it's this one, which is, I mean, this is the exact thing which we used, right? So that shouldn't be an issue. That's weird. Date picker with range. And then this is, oh, there you go. It's solved. I think I copied the wrong stuff or something like that. Like, this is great. So this is exactly how I wanted. So, yeah. So now we can pick the range, I guess. Now after that, what we can do is we can, so we should have like on change or something like that. We'll think about that later. But this should be like in the add new sprint. I think we can definitely access class name. So we can say widthful. No widthful. That's kind of weird. That's the best part about Chartzian, right? You can go inside the component and you can modify them. So we have a popover, we have whatever popover, and then this is button. So we can go over here and we can so we don't need to limit this to 300. There you go. That's kind of what we want. Great. So yeah, so we'll see how to handle on change and all those other things, but let's get up, like let's have a submit button first. So here we'll have a button and we'll call it like create sprint. Exactly, it's just angry at me. Use day picker must be used within a day picker provider. What do you mean by this? Use day picker. I did not use day picker. It was all working good. What happened suddenly? Use day. I have some notification. Yo, bro, I can see you. Yeah, there you go. Selected all of you guys, like accepted all of you guys. Why, bro? Why are you angry at me? With preset, what do you mean by with preset? I don't want this. Exactly, I want it in the form, but how to do it? So I can simply take the amount of days and that then I can calculate the sprint, because sprint could be literally started at any time like that. Yeah, I could do that instead of that makes sense. So I can say duration, that's in days. So yeah, instead of this I could like have an input with like type number and then all the fields property. That's better. I was right. You are such a talented and brilliant guy. Oh, thanks a lot. I'm happy you felt like that. What do you mean, bro? I'm not even using your component. Sometimes, you know, React goes insane. Next.js goes insane, so we'll have to restart this. Yeah, let's hope this is fixed. Come on, I'm not even using use date picker, bro. What do you mean? This is annoying. I'm not even using this. What do you mean? Use day picker must be used within a day picker provider. Do I need day picker provider? Like if I wrap my, if I go to my providers and if I just like wrap my app inside a day picker provider, will this fix my issue? That's just asking. Like, is this okay? Now what do you need? That needs an initial prop. I've removed everything. I mean, this is insane. Okay, this is happy now. The error fixed itself quite surprisingly. Oh, it only breaks that component. Okay. Oh, so is that the issue? I mean, no. Am I importing stuff from the wrong place? Oh, this is no this. Oh, why was this button from there? Okay, aspiration from the startup. So, bro, the problem is in my company, right? I was using, I was, I was searching for a lot of, I was searching for a lot of, like we were in a hunt for a good sprint, like sprint management, ticket management system, right? We went for Jira. A lot of you might know that Jira. We went for Zoho. Like Zoho also has a sprint management. Then we went for like Azure DevOps. We tried this thing called what do you call that? ClickUp. So all these 4 or 5 companies we tried, and I was facing this issue that in in all of these solutions, right, you get the integration. First of all, the integration is very tedious to do. Second of all, even the integration is there, you will have to manually go fill in the details and all those things. I want a management system which automatically updates. Like if you create a PR, right, it should say the work has started. If you submit the PR, it should say the work is under review. If you submit the PR, it should say the work is being done. The work description should automatically get updated from the PR which you have created. All these, like, this is just an example. Even the AI could be used to create work descriptions and all those things, right? I just want to combine, like I want this tool so that people have to use this tool as less as possible. For styling, what are you using? I'm using ShardZN, bro, or ShardZN and Tailwind. So this is ShardZN and Tailwind. I think that was the issue. So now I can use that picker, whatever range stuff what we have, but we don't need that. I mean, we can definitely use that. I was using that wrong stuff. So I can select, like, this is days, so I can say select duration, and this could be days, right? No, bro, still not working. So yeah, that was kind of fine, I guess. Yes, we can. What was the name? Date range picker. What was that? What was that? Not this one. Not this one. Where the date range picker? So date picker is this. Then you have this. So which is, and then you have this, and then range picker. This is exactly what we need. So we can copy this entire thing and we can say date range picker. Exactly, but the thing why they don't, bro, use that. Hold on. I'll just show you a very weird thing, right? So I see my comments on this place, which is OBS, right? And then whatever is written over here, I cannot see that, like, because it's the heart or something like that over there. It's a little weird. Yeah. So okay, so let's get this date range picker. I guess this was interesting. So why Azure didn't apply that? Because they're very slow, bro. If once your company is very big, having changes, like, very fast is hard. I don't know why they didn't focused that. Assalam, like, assalamu alaikum. I don't know how to pronounce that, but assalamu alaikum, namaste, what's up, how are you, bro? uh hello, hi. So we have date picker. Let's go. Where is the server? So where's the components? Yeah. So let's create a date picker. What, like date range picker, right? .tsx, and then we can paste this over here. I probably have everything. Yeah. And then I can go to the page, and now this wouldn't be an issue. So I can say, what was that? Date range picker, right? And then it would be completely fine. Yeah, see, things are great now. So the error was because I was using that stupid button thing. Okay, so now we have this, and then we can go to the button. We can say, instead of having width whatever this much, we should have this much. Yeah, which is good. I am new to front end. What does trpc do? Bro, it's not a front end stuff, it's a back end stuff. We'll definitely start. So you'll understand trpc very well once I start integrating this form. So just watch, right? So once I start integrating this form, I think everybody, for all of you guys who doesn't know trpc, things will be very, very clear. So I can go and create class margin top 3 or 4, something like that. No, margin top. Yeah, margin top, that's correct. Margin top doesn't work. Okay, so first of all, I don't want this like over here. I want flex justify end, right? So it should go to that, like, I don't know what, justify. Yeah, there you go. Now we can say padding top 4. That would be kind of like a little bit spacing, and then here's how you use it. So why do I love, like, this is like, I'll just show you something which is very, very insane right now, right? I'll just show you something, right? So what we can do is we can create a sprint validator. So I can say, okay, so sprint will have a name, right? It will have a start date, okay, which is a kind of a date, right? And then yeah, and then yeah, we can say dot min. I don't know, dot min is like dot date, dot min due date. So it should be like anything. If you create a new so the start date and the end date both are using a custom authentication. No bro, I'm using clerk, not custom authentication. End date, that's great. So we have a start date, end date, and name, right? So we created a validator. Next thing what we'll do is we'll use this validator. So we'll go to add new sprint. Now this is the form. So they provide you something which I have just now forgotten. So we have this, and then we can say I think start date like this, and then we can say end date like this. First of all, there's one more issue. I need it cannot be this, it cannot be this, so it has to be undefined. So we can keep it okay, so we can keep it like this. Next thing what we can do is we can have what I just forget add new project. I think, how did I do it over here? So you need to basically provide something like this, which is called a resolver. That should be a Zod resolver. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll provide a resolver. That's going to be a Zod resolver, and then I can provide that. So create sprint validator. So this will do what is, this will validate all the forms whatever we have against the against that, like, yeah, against the validator which we created. The problem right now is like, how do you, what does on change, or do we have on change? That's insane. So what does that give us? Field, right? I don't know what will that give us, but let's see. Okay, so we have a date picker with range, right? And we have applied, by the way, very interesting thing. If I just go like this, right, and if I, oh, that doesn't work like that. Wait, hold on, I'm doing something wrong. So that's kind of correct. That's also correct. Oh, so you just have to do the control thing. Okay, so we forgot that. Let's do that. So we'll say control is form.control, right? That's kind of required. And then I exactly don't know how will this output. So So we'll see how does this output later on. So we can do this, and now you can see the name is giving us error because our validator doesn't have any field which is duration. So it is like name and start range or end range, but the problem is we don't have a default value. So we can have a default value. So we can say start date could be like, I don't know, could be like today's date, and end date also could be like today's date. So we can say, this is stupid. What could I do? I don't know. This could be like range, new. How do you pass the value to this? I'm just interested. Can't we not have a now? So we'll have to have this, and this could be range. Cool. So we have the range. Now if we submit the form, let's see what do we get the value for duration, because I haven't implemented this, so I don't know how the value is coming. So let's do that. So what we can do is we can go to the form over here, and we can say on submit, and there's something called handle form. I think there was something in this. So it's like of course we have a form, and so there was something called handle submit. So that comes in from the inside, like from form. So you can say form dot handle submit, right? And then you'll get values over here, right? And then you can do anything with them. So let's log the values, right? Great. So I don't know would this work or not, or like how would this work, but let's go with whatever we are doing right now. So I'll say sprint 1. It's already giving us some errors. I know why that error is, but right. So but like let's go over here and let's click close sprint. We don't even get any output. That's kind of weird. So we have this. We have class name, which makes sense. We have date. So acha, it's from and to, okay, and from whatever this to this, and yeah, okay. So we have button, and then we have a calendar icon. We have from and to, pop over content, calendar, focus, range. So we should actually okay, so we'll have to implement a value and on change function so that this works. So and this is not valid. Hey, what are you doing? Yash, bro, I'm basically coding a sprint management system, if that makes sense. Sprint management system is something which you use to assign tasks, create sprints, manage sprints, create projects, manage them, all those things. That's what we do with whatever I'm doing right now. So we have a range, right? That's kind of cool, but I just don't understand one thing, like how am I going to save this in the form? That's going to be a little complex. And how does this even handle like on change? There should be on change, right? On select, oh, set date, there you go. So it sets the date, right, of this, and this is the okay. So it gives you from and to as an output. Okay, got it. So yeah, so we can do something like this. So we can go over here. So class name is kind of fine. We don't even care about class name right now. Like we are pretty much okay with what they have given us. So let's customize this. We don't want it like this. First thing first. Okay, there you go. So that's the thing. So we would need like on change, right? So that's important, and value is important for us. So I don't know what is this. So you would get like on change, like that's what we need. And then and then value is a date range. Yeah, that makes sense. So good, we have on change and value, that is kind of like required, right? And then I guess, yeah, this would work directly over here. So can we set directly the value? I don't know. On change we have a range, right? And then we can say form dot set value, and I can say, and then I can manually say like whatever, like I can go over here, I can say default value so I can have few like from, I can have like new date, so which is like right now, and two could also be new date, like which is from now. Okay, so and you can see the new like the default is this, which I don't understand. It shouldn't be default this. Let's give the default as like 20 days from the current year. So we can say new date dot get year, get full year, whatever, and then that works. Yeah, so new date dot get full year, right? And then instead of 0, let's take the month, so which is, I don't know, shouldn't I'll let it be, who cares? So that's kind of okay. So yeah, so we can keep exactly this value as, so add days, so this just added. Okay, interesting. So we don't need this, we don't even need that. Yeah, exactly. So it's not, it should be so wherever there's a date, it should be value, correct? And then wherever there is a, again, wherever there is a date, it should be value, and then set date should be on change. Yeah, on select is this, is not a null type. What do you mean? What do you want? Undefined is not alternative to type data range. Okay, it could be undefined, that's what you're saying, right? So I would say this could be undefined. Like, is that okay? No, that's not okay. What to choose, JS or TS when building a new project? Bro, depends on, like, if you're just trying to learn TS, choose TypeScript. If it's just like, it depends, like how seriously are you taking the project. If it's just a fun project, you don't care a lot, few days playing here and there, just use JavaScript. But if that is something on which more than 2 people is going to work, and it is something which you're taking seriously, create in TypeScript. So simple, TypeScript helps you understand the complex projects, the projects which grows beyond a particular scale. So on scale is just on select is just angry with me. It says type undefined is not selectable to type date range. Okay, so what it is saying is basically so this could be date range or undefined. Okay, that's what it is saying me. But now this is happy with me, so now I can be a little bit more smart. I can say, okay, I can say range directly to from undefined to undefined. So from let's give it like from like current date to 20 days ahead. So new date, so new date, and then we can say from current date, whatever current date is. So we'll say add days to like a new date, and then we can add like a 20 days. There you go. So that's our 20 sprint. So that will be the default value for this. And now we can pass this. So interesting enough, now we can, so yeah, I guess, so we have even the field, right? So we can say on change field, dot on change. Great. And then value is field dot value. Great. And we can have range because that's what we want. Yeah, this is great, bro. This is so clean. This is how clean we want all our applications to be. Great. So this should be working. Let's see. So, and it would even give us errors and all those things. But before that, I think our Zod validator is not of a correct type or whatever. Like it's not good. So we'll have to go sprints, not over here. I mean, sprints validator, and it shouldn't be like this. There's no start or end date. So now there is like just this thing called range, which will be like to and from, so which both are a date basically. But before this, okay, so we cannot do this. We'll have to say object. It should be an object with like to and from. Yeah, both should be date. That makes sense. So this is what it should be. So this is happy with me, I guess. The next thing what we need to do is, let's go to the sprints. Is that's kind of okay. We have sprint error, so we can show that definitely. Why is this an option? Empty, there is no okay, so we can show that over here. So below this, so if there's an error, so if there is a sprint error, right, we could have, yeah, that's how I would like to have it. So if there's an error, it would show that okay, there was some error and something like that. So let's now go to add sprints, and let's try to submit this form finally, right? And let's see what do we get. So yeah, we are getting in good. What DB are you using? It's Postgres, bro. It's Postgres. First of all, why are we not getting the name correctly? So we have it like this, and then we have a name. Pretty much correct. So we have a name. So we could have a placeholder over here, and then you can say enter your name, something like that. And then we could have whatever. Yeah, that's kind of good. So I can say whatever, like some testing value and whatever. Like if I say create sprint, yes, bro, yes, I finally get it. I get the exact value. Kind of great. So good. So and then if I just leave it empty, I must get an error. So I am getting an error. So validation done, all of those things done. So now we have to just get this in the backend and just create a new sprint. So let's get that up. Like now here's the part trpc is coming in. So all of you guys who are asking a lot of trpc stuff, focus, watch carefully. Okay. So so this is how trpc is done. It's pretty simple. So we like I'll go to the sprints, right? And I just want to, like, let's say create sprints, right? So what I'll say is I have created a function like this. I have a procedure, right? And this is the input which I'm saying I'm using, right? But technically this is not true. So I would need an object first, and it should have a project ID, right? And then that should be string, right? And then it would have what it would have, like it would have sprint info, right? Which could be like sprint like create sprint validator. I think that would work. Yeah, it would be create sprint validator. Cool. So so this is how it is. So now you have to pass the data in this particular format, and it will create it like this. So you can see it directly takes from the input, which shouldn't be true because input doesn't have, input has a project ID. That makes sense, but it should have other sprints. So let's go to the schema, and let's actually go to the sprint, and it should have like a start date. So it should be like date time, and it should have end date, which should also be a date time. Great. So it should have a start and end date, and it should have a name. So great. Let's create a migration. So npx prisma migrate dev, which would help us to create a migration. Let's write the name of the migration. Added range in what do you say, sprint. There you go, that added a range in a sprint. And let's quickly apply this migration. So we can say npx prisma migrate. Oh, it has been already applied, I think. When we create, then this is applied as well. I am not sure whether my correct database is on or not. So no, this is not what we want. So yeah, this is what we want to be on. Yeah, great. So once we, I think npx prisma migrate deploy, so that you know this is even deployed. Great. So our migration is deployed. There were 3 migrations pending, not deployed, but now everything is deployed. Great. So the next thing what we have to do is, now you can see this is kind of like angry with me because I haven't supplied all the data. So let's quickly supply all the data. So we'll say from, so we have belongs to, which is pretty correct. Then we have start date, which is input.range.from, and we have end date, which is input.range.to. What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Range does not exist on type input. Are we create sprint? So, oh, so it's not range, it's sprint info, right? Then we have range, and then we have from. That's insane amount of nesting for this simple like stuff. You shouldn't. So sprint info dot range dot to, there you go. So yeah, so this, I have updated this data and this will be created over here. So now I just have to pass this data. And how would I use this create sprint? It's pretty simple. I'll just go to the front end, create sprint modal, and then what I can do is I can just create a mutation. So I can say whatever, like is equal to trpc dot sprint, trpc dot sprints dot create sprints dot use mutation. Wait, what do you mean? Why the dot create sprints dot, wait, I have done something wrong. Okay, so in the sprints in the server, this shouldn't be query. First of all, this should be a mutation, because this is a mutation, and it should return a true, I guess. Yeah, that's true. So now we can say dot use mutation, and I think we'll get a thing called mutate, which will be like create sprint. We'll rename that to pre-create sprint, and then we can say create. We can say loading. I think loading is the thing, right? Is pending, or is success is pending, and then we can say creating sprint. I don't want to handle all these right now. Like, I'm really not in a mood of handling all these right now. So we can just say, we can just get the error. So we can say error, create sprint error, right? And we can place that error above our entire dialog box. So we can have it like right over here, and then we can say yes, thank you. That's how we want it. That's a red box basically. So we have that kind of like takes care of the error. Now we have this create sprint function, which we can use in the like over here. So we can say this could be async right, and then we can create this that's directly, we can do that. And yeah, so first of all, we don't see project ID over here, that we should see actually. Let's take project ID from here as like project ID as string. Let's take that as a parameter from the parent, because we have that value in the parent. So yeah, and then let's pass this from there. So yeah, so it's kind of fine like this. Yeah, great. So we have project ID and we have sprint value, whatever this is. Great. So we have the front end and back end integrated. Isn't that cool, bro? Like all of you guys who are watching, isn't that cool? Like we don't need to do anything very insane, and you know, we don't have to write like APIs and all those and get them separated, and we got like a completely type safe API integration, that too like so much easily, like, right? So like isn't that great, right? So we have sprints, right? So now this is angry at us because we are not passing the so first of all, like, let's not get it as params. That's something which I don't like. So let's have like whatever, like project ID, something like project ID as project ID. Am I doing prop drilling? I'm just feeling like that. So we have a project ID, right? So we can say project ID, and then we can pass the same project ID over here. So project ID, there you go. Great. So now this wouldn't work right now. The reason is because in the sprints we have to pass the project ID. So instead of doing this, we can do like project ID and args.project params.project ID. There you go. That's pretty much good. So now I would like hold on. I'll explain why do I have sprints in the parent rather than in the child. So that is something which I will explain, but you'll have to hold on. Couldn't find the project. What do you mean couldn't find the project? You could find the project. So why doesn't it have any projects? Oh, because we that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So this was connected to the wrong database before. So this shouldn't be the database right now. It could be this. That's kind of okay. So let's say npx prisma migrate deploy. It's kind of okay. I think now if I refresh, we'll see. Yeah, that was the issue. So we are connected to the not the wrong database as such, but yeah. Great. So we have this and everything looks fine. So if I just say my first sprint and if everything goes correct, we should be able to, we have an error and it, don't worry, in the production, you will not see an error like this, but kind of like this is helpful. We have available options are, so I think there is some sort of issue. Let's see. Let's go to the sprint server and let's see what values do we get in the input. Let's kind of try to log the input. Looks pretty correct to me, at least. Yeah, let's see, because that is happening in the server. So if I create click again, you'll see we are receiving like the information right, but what it says is unknown argument start date. Okay, unknown argument start date. What do you mean by, oh, because the migrations are not applied. Yeah, npx prisma migrate deploy, no migrations pending. What do you mean? Oh, we'll have to, it says start is, it doesn't know what is start date, but we have start date and end date over here. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. npx prisma studio, so that we can see all our data. Let's see, what do we have? We have all these projects, right? We should be able to, please can you explain the folder structure? You want to understand the folder structure? Sure, I will. Hold on, let me see. Project ID, start date, end date. Okay, so here's the project structure. Okay, so let's collapse everything. So I read like I have all my validators over here, which is uniform across backend and front end. So yeah, all my validators is in this particular folder. Then we have a server folder, which is all trpc stuff. So trpc, all the route handlers and all the procedure calls, everything trpc is over here. Then we have a public folder, which is all my public assets like images and all. Then I have a prisma folder, which is all prisma, all the migrations and all the schema files are there. Then we have a lib folder, which is all the libraries. I'm currently having only 2, which is prisma and utils. You could have multiple of them. So yeah. Then I have a component library, which has all the components of my project, anything like from date picker to loading and logo. And then we finally have an app folder, which is the folder hierarchy and all the stuff, like, you know, how my routing of my project is handled. And that's the folder structure. Yeah. Nothing very fancy out of the box, but yeah, kind of works for me. Bro, my, what do you say? What are you saying? Belongs to this. It's saying unknown marked, available options are marked, whatever this. Unknown argument start date. But there is start date. What do you mean? Like this is start date, right? And then you say unknown argument start date. Let's restart the server, because sometimes the error get fixed when you restart the server, surprisingly, in Next.js. So let's refresh this. Bro, why your last stream was private? I don't even remember what was my last stream. What was it about? If you can help me recall, then I can tell you why is it private. Hey, how are you? Whatever, like test name. Let's select some other range, maybe like 28 to like 14, or like let's have like this range to like, let's have like from 20 to 30. That kind of works. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that worked then. Yeah, that worked. That worked then. Oh, we should have close and open, whatever, these kind of stuff. Okay, that worked. Bro, why was your last stream? Again. Sorry, I forgot. I don't know what was my last stream, bro. I'll have to check and then I can tell you. Do you want me to check right now? Seriously? Let me see what was my last stream about. It was probably about something. No, not this one. Go back. Go to. Oh, the 3D stuff. Okay, this one, right? 3D stuff, right? Oh, this one. Because why was this private? Because I wanted to code a lot more and I wasn't feeling like, my head was paining or something like that, and I wasn't feeling like completing this stuff during the live stream. So I just closed and I was like, why to place like half baked thing in the, like, yeah. I thought like it wouldn't be helpful if you will be like only watching the half thing, right? So that's why I made that like private. Yeah. So this is pretty much working. So next thing what we have to do is we have to create this modal controlled. That means like we should be able to close and open this. So we'll go to sprints, and we have an add modal open, whatever that is, and then over here I should be able to have like open and set open. Very simple two functions, and then I can pass open, and set open is simply open, and then on open change will be set open. And set open is I don't know, I know it is angry at us, but we'll do it. So open is boolean, and set open is basically open boolean void. Yeah, there you go. That's what we want. Great. So now this is angry at us because we are not passing the open value. So we'll just pass open, and then what we can do is we can just take this one from here, add open, add modal open, whatever that is, set add modal open, whatever. So set open, it will be like set add modal open. Good to go. Now we can press this. Oh, that nothing happens because we haven't defined what happens when we click this. So it should say set add modal open to true. Yeah, there you go. So I can say this, that kind of works super good. What was some real crazy thing? I was also trying to explore those pattern functionality. That's why that was some real crazy thing. Oh, you find that, and we found that interesting. We might do that again. I mean, it's not like that was the last time we did it. We might do that again someday, might be, whenever I feel like doing 3D stuff. I have some LinkedIn message, I guess. Hold on. Hussein, is this your resume? I guess. Yeah, we can do the review if you wish, of course. There you go. So we have a sprint, right? So yeah, let's cross this. First of all, why aren't we not fetching all the sprint? So that's why we see it blank. There's no empty because we are not rendering the sprint. So let's render the sprints. Yay, we finally have the sprints. So it's here, like sprints, right? So now what we can say is we can say sprints dot map sprint. Yeah, that's what we want. Is this how you do it? Is this how you do it? Yeah. Yeah, I guess. And then we can say key, and then we can say sprint dot, I guess, ID, and then we can, yeah, how does that look? I don't know. First of all, let's get rid of this. You can see, yeah, so that's the sprint, of course, right? So we can definitely have a better icon for the sprints, but that's how it looks like right now. Okay, so we can definitely make it like bigger, text 3XL or something like that. 3XL is too much. 3XL is definitely too much. Let's create like XL. That's fine, right? And then what we can do is we can just place that, whatever that icon was, sprint layout. I think it's in the projects. Yeah, I don't know what was I using as an icon for this one. So it is a Russian rubble. So it's a Russian rubble. Yeah, that kind of works for me. No, that doesn't work for me. So is the name. So it's a sprint.name. There you go. If you don't mind, then could you please do a public that previous 3D stream? Bro, there's already, like, whatever I did in that particular stream till that time, there is already a episode present. So if I go on my YouTube channel, I don't know, something like, yeah, you can see there's already a tutorial on that. So I'll just share my link to that particular stuff. Okay, so there's already a video on that 3D stuff which I did in that video I did before, so you can watch that probably. So yeah, someone giving a lot of hearts, so thank you for that heart. Okay, we have that, and then what we can do is we can just give it flex, and we can give gap, so that will be like that, and then we can give like in started at, so something like that. So yeah, so we can say div, and then we can say text gray, something like this, and then I mean, yeah, and then we can say so I mean, sprint dot start from. I think it wouldn't be able to render that probably. Yeah, it would break. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. What are you building, DT encoder? So basically what I'm building, bro, is like, can I do like dot to date string? Yeah, that would probably work. Yeah, that works. Great. So it was started on that day and it will end at that day. That's cool. Now after this, what we can do is we can have an ability to start a stream, and every stream could have several statuses, right? So is it man time UI library? No, bro, it's Shardzian. No man time. I don't know. I don't even know that library. So yeah, so you can say class, and then we might give a border to this. So border to, yeah, cool. And then we can say a rounded MD. Yeah, no, LG, something like that, and the padding 3. That looks cool, right? So now you can create many stuff, and then probably we would wrap everything around like this inside a div, and then we can call like space y something like 3, and then margin top 3. There you go. Pretty much good stuff. Yeah, so now let's try this. By the way, there's one thing still lacking. So can you guys see? This is like some advanced stuff. Okay, so can you guys see? First of all, it loads which I hate. Like why would it load, right? I just loading I hate, first thing. Second thing, it is not SSR rendered. Like I just want like stuff to be present when I am on the project. I don't want them to basically load or like that for some time or something like that. So for that, what I can do is I can be a little bit more smart. I can pass all the sprints from the parent to the child. So I can go to this page, and that's the reason I was having this I don't know, this thing, no, not this one. What am I doing even? Where is projects, project ID, and there you go. So that's the reason I was having like this inside this, like I did not build the page over here making this as a like, so I want to actually render this in the server. So I can say sprints, and then there's something called trpc server which I have created. So this enables me to access things directly in the server. So then, okay, hold on. So I can pass like args.params dot project ID, which will give me all the data. So sprints, and then is this like data is, are we getting some, no, it's directly the sprints, right? So we can pass this over here. So we can say gd, and then we can say like we even need a list of sprints as an initial value. So we can say sprint, oh no, like not over there. So we can take a list of sprint, wait, hold on, what do you mean sprints? Sprint, where is the prisma type? Where can I, yeah, that's what we need. There you go. So oh, this is also sprints, and that is also sprint. So we can say initial sprints. That would make like more sense from the point of view of name. Right, there you go. So that's initial sprints. And then what we can do is we can first pass. So here we have passed project ID, and then what we can do is we can pass several other options. So we can say initial data is equal to sprint. Oh wait, why are you angry at me, bro? Because the type of this doesn't match. What to do about type now? This is, let me show you how this works, and then we'll think about types, right? So okay, so we have it as a type any right now, but what we can do is we can go to the page, and we can say that the initial date sprint is sprint. So now there will be no loading, but there will be still loading. This is what, this is an array of promise. Okay, this is a promise, so I can make it await, and then I can make it async. The spelling of async is wrong, so there you go. So see, bro, all of you guys see there is no loading whatsoever. Can you see there is no loading? There's no loading. So it's there, right? Because this is rendered from the server side, but still there is one flaw, which is even if it is like it is rendered from the server, it does a call after rendering it. It does a REST call to get even that is not required. Like then also it does that. So to prevent that, what we can do is we can just pass some. We can pass few stuff over here, which is render fetch. I don't know. I just I think I handled this in projects. So it's called this. So refetch on remount and refetch on reconnect. So we just can copy that from there, and we can paste this over here. So that's best. So you can see this is so fast that when I refresh, you don't even see you hardly see the refreshing stuff, right? So a glitch or anything like that, like, you know, it's not there. So it's there now. One more thing which I would like to do is whenever something is added, I would like to automatically refetch the list and show it over here, right? So let's quickly do that. So for doing that, what we have to do is we have to know that, you know, this has basically, there is something added. So for that we can go to add whatever this is, and we can have like on sprint added, right? So we can pass a function like this that would have like on sprint added, which will be a normal void function, and we can, like, whenever this is done, we can say on sprint added. Yeah, there you go. So that kind of like lets us know that we have like there's some sprint added. So we can say on sprint added, and then Okay, great. So now we need to refetch stuff. So we need to say refetch. By the way, this doesn't work for us for a reason. I'll just show you. So we don't want to directly do it. First of all, what we want to do is we want to go inside this. So this one, and then this shouldn't be called over here. So this shouldn't be called over here because of a lot of reasons. So no, that's, wait, no, yeah, that's correct. So here inside this mutation, right, so there's something called onSettled. So onSettled, which is at the end of this mutation is done, we can say, yeah, we can say set up and false, right? That is great. Okay, so that kind of works. Let's try this out. So let's go to add sprint and let's say, hey, this is whatever, like this is my new sprint, like this is new sprint, something like that. And then let's create a duration, whatever. I did not like this duration selector a lot. I might change this, but this works, bro. This works to all of you guys who are watching. So you can see like whatever I add will be visible in the back, and great stuff. We are able to add sprints. We should be having ability to delete sprints as well. I don't know, we should be having or not. In the future, right? So you can definitely change, but there will be a settings panel where you can set the duration of a single sprint, and it would automatically be of that particular range from the current date, so that whenever there's like a new sprint starting, you can start it, right? And I think we need a title over here, which we don't have. So let's place that. Let's have that. We can go to the page. I don't know, this stuff. No, not this stuff. We can go over here and we can place a title over here. Sprints. I don't want to have two of these. So and that is looking stupid. So we'll just have like, oh, that's a lot of padding. I think we should have 4. And then instead of this, I can say text 3, something like that. Text 3 Excel. Yeah, it's better. That's definitely better. And I think this already has some amount of padding or something like that, which we don't need. Which we don't need. So we can just get rid of this one. Yeah, there you go. That looks amazing. So you can handle all your sprints from this particular place. Okay, you can click here, you can add your sprint, you can create sprint, and that all works. And we have all the error handling, we have everything which you can wish. We have SSR, which is server side rendering. So yeah, we are pretty happy. Let's move ahead. So the next thing which we want tasks, which is the hard stuff. So let's do the hard stuff now. First, let's drink some water. I have only this much water left in my bottle, so let's finish it off. Okay, so after this, what we'll do is we will be having another, like we have dashboard, right? Dashboard, I always create dashboard at the end, and this at the dashboard at the end, because dashboard depends on whatever data we generate, right? So let's create sprints, and then let's create a tasks first. Okay, so let's create a tasks. So we'll go to layout of this, and then we can just add another like thing over here, and let's call it label, not less. Label is tasks, right? And then we could have not Russian roulette, but is there any person or like task list? I don't know, that might be the task. And go to task, and then ID, generate random ID. You can see this is like this tasks now, which is cool, but we haven't handled what should render when the tasks when the task happen. So we can create another so we have sprints. We can create one more folder, and we'll call it tasks, okay, which will be tasks. And we can create a page.tsx, and we can say rfce, and we can say tasks. Great. So now if I go to tasks, you will see the task there. Super great, like super amazing stuff. So we'll say class, and then we'll say padding 3 or padding 4. Let's keep it consistent, and let's say text 3 XL, and then we can say tasks. Great. So we have tasks, and okay. So now how do we want to handle our tasks? First of all, not first of all, we'll have that feature again in the after this, which is ability to import tasks from Jira and all those stuff. But first of all, we should be able to create our own tasks and stuff like that. So let's create that. So let's do that. So for that, what we'll do is we will be we'll go to a database. So we'll say schema.prisma file, and then let's create a tasks stuff. So it's a model user task, or like a simple task, right? So every task will belong to a project, and then you can link that to. So every task will belong to a sprint. No, that's not necessary. First of all, that's not required. Sprint ID is optional, so the belongs to is also optional. So I don't know, no, that's not how you do it. So you just create question mark over here, write a question mark over there, and good to go. Okay, so every task could belong to a sprint or not. That's like completely optional. Status is not a string, so task status will be, let's create status should be dynamic. I think you should be able to have statuses, right? Yeah. So we'll have to create a way to basically define statuses and all those things. So we'll have to, before going for task, we'll have to create settings, because without settings you could not have tasks. So let's create settings first. So let's go to layout, and let's have another thing. It's not budget, bro. First of all, it's settings, right? And then we can say settings, right? And then we can go to settings, right? So we have settings, and you can click on settings, and you'll be able to go to the settings, and you can modify the default settings of so you can create statuses, you can create all those stuff. So let's kind of like do that. So let's go to the settings, and it's pretty simple. We'll create another folder over here. We'll call it settings, and then yeah, and then basically page.tsx, right? And then we can say rfce page settings, so you can say, yeah, there you go. So we have settings, and then quite similar to what we did before, we'll say padding 4, and then text 3xl, and we'll say settings. Right, there you go. We have settings. First setting which we would like to have is the ability to modify the name of the stuff. We follow project backlog tasks. Project backlog task. Yeah, bro. So see, backlog is the collection of all the tasks which are not into sprints, right? Like roughly you can say. So like I just want to keep it simple, bro. So it's like if you haven't added this into the sprint, then it's like it's in the backlog. So yeah, so you can even remove some task into backlog. I don't know, just correct me if I'm wrong there. Okay, so we can have like the first thing, which is, do we have divider or divide? We have divide. Oh, it's right. Okay, so the first setting which we would like to have is let's have an area which is like general settings or something like that. So like I don't know, let's have like a general settings or something like that. So first of all, this entire setting thing should be client rendered, because we would have a hell lot of stuff over here. So use client, so no server side rendering over here. And then what we would do is we would say name of the project, which is general information. So it's a text. We could have like a dev general information, right? And then right, and then we can say text sm, and then we can say text gray. Cool. So first, like input, name, and then we can have a label, right? And we can say name of project, right? And then do we have for, like, you know, HTML for project name? There you go, that makes sense. And then we can have all these stuff might be inside a simple, like, everything could be like a, what can I say, yeah, so I have an idea. So everything could be like inside a dot border to, like that. And then we could have like a rounded XL, because, right? And then what we can do is we can have like a padding of like 3. Yeah, we will have quite aggressive padding, but let's have padding X as 3. Padding Y we'll see what we can do. So, and all the controls should be like inside a separate div. So like yeah, and then we can say class margin top 3 or something like that. Yeah, cool. And then here you know, we can have a margin bottom of 3, of course. That would make sense. No margin bottom 3. Okay, we can have a padding bottom 3. Yeah, there you go. That's looking kind of decent. First of all, the border is super thick, so we will need to change that. So we can say border 2, and then not border 2, border 1 pixel. Can we have it? Yeah, that's far more better. And then we could have like a margin top of like something like 6 or something like that. Would be good. That's good. So that keeps us like every section like separate. So we'll have every section in its own box. Yeah. So name of the project, and then the next thing could be description of the project. So there was something called use ID. Yeah, there was something called use ID. So you can say const project name, right? This is this is the feature of the cutting edge next, like next 19. Okay, then you have project description, right? So let's use this. There's a HTML for project name, and then we can say project description. There you go. Great. So we have project name and project description. First of all, why is it name over here? I don't know. It should be project description, and the same goes with over here. So it should be project name, and the same goes with over here. It should be project description. I shouldn't do this way. Like I'm just not feeling it like I should do this way. So I just should show the information, and I should have a change button. That would be a lot more easier for me. So yeah, should I do that way? Yeah, that's better, I think. Why do I even, yeah, that's definitely better. That's definitely better. Yeah. So let's have a text like LG, and like whatever, like some project name. right? But hold on, what will I do like with date and all those stuff? uh isn't there a better way to do this? I mean, can I, so it could be project description. There you go. So yeah, instead of name of the project, it should be project description. There you go. So that's the project description, and it would be all will be auto filled. And yeah, and whenever you, yeah, and then there will be save change button in the bottom or something like that, which will basically detect what has changed, and it will, yeah, that would be a good approach, I guess. So we have the project description. What else do we have? We have other like sprint settings. So we could have like the same stuff which we have like over here. uh uh, we definitely have some issue, so that's already done. Yeah, there you go. Wait, yeah, that's good. So instead of general information, it is sprints, right? So all the sprint, so it is basically projects. It's not even general information. This is projects settings, right? So this is sprint settings. So like default duration could be one thing. So I could say const sprint duration use id. Then I can just copy one of these, paste this over here, and then I could have like what do you say, sprint duration, right? So I can have like sprint duration, right? And then I can have like same goes with like stuff over here, right? And then I could say sprint duration over here as well. There you go. So that's the sprint duration. That's the second settings. And yeah, do I need to have other things? So like I can have like auto naming enabled or disabled, so it will always create like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, whatever the number of the sprints you'll have. We could have like, yeah, so it will auto name the sprints. We can do that. That could be something interesting. So we'll say div, not like that, I mean, how to have radio buttons, I don't know. Yeah, so we can just copy that, maybe paste that, get rid of both of them. Let's see how do we create that. So you can say so you could create something like a radio group. Oh, I haven't added this, so first of all I have to add this. Let's close this, add this to my project. There's a radio group, we'll be adding this. Yeah, done. So we have added the radio group, so we can say a radio group. That's great. And then we'll go over here, and then we'll say default value disabled. Yeah, it shouldn't be like this way, I guess. I'm pretty sure default checked. So it's not default checked, it's default value. And then we don't need any of these stuff. Yeah, there you go. And then you have, it is not like that, bro, first of all. So it's the, let's copy this, like, yeah, copy, paste, and then we import this stuff from UI radio group, whatever. So now we do, it's not default or something, it's enabled and it's disabled. So right, and we can have the value. So it's not default value, it's enabled, and it will be enabled by default. I think that should be how it is. So right, so there's no R1 R2. What do you mean by R1 R2? Forget about R1 R2. There you go. What do we get? So it's a enabled and disabled, so both of them are enabled. It's is pretty weird. Is it not working? Oh, it was due to that. Oh wait, what the hell? What the hell do you mean? So it's enabled, so it should be enabled and disabled, right? So disabled should be checked by default. And yeah, so then what we can have is we can have sprint enabled, sprint auto name enabled, and then you can say use ID. That will give me ID, and then I could have one for disabled, right? And then there you go. So we'll say use ID. There you go. So we have sprint auto name enabled, sprint auto name disabled, and we can like press Control D, do this, and we'll say sprint auto name enabled. Good. And then we could have this, and then we can say sprint auto name disabled. There you go. So we have some ID. So you can do this, enable disable, but one thing is still not working, which is the title, which we need to do right now. So how are we going to do that? So let's have a div, and let's say enable auto sprint naming. Yeah, that's what we want. Class text bold, text sm. I think it's font bold, font semi bold. Yeah, it looks a little different, but we'll take care of that later on. Might be, yeah. So you can say margin bottom not 2. That's kind of fine. Yeah. So this is sprint, so you can enable, disable auto naming and all those things. This is settings, kind of cool. What else could we have? So I think that's, oh, so for the task we have statuses, so you should be able to create statuses. By the way, we'll have a save button for all of them. It's pretty weird, but we'll have it. So so the next thing is tasks. So let's create, so I'll be back. Hold on, I'll be back. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, I'll be back. Hold on. Hello, I'm back. So let's continue the stream. So we have sprints. The next thing which we want is we want the ability to define the statuses for the tasks. So you could define any statuses and it would work. So let's do that. So we would have this, and then let's do it the next thing. which is probably I should again copy stuff from here and paste this and then do this. Yeah, so instead of sprints, this will be tasks, right? And then we'll have an ability to like create task statuses. So yeah, let's code that. So we'll have let's go to the schema and let's create a new table for storing all the task statuses. So we could have like model task status, right? And then every status could have, I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much correct. Do we need a description for a status? I don't know. No. Let's the sole purpose of this entire project is to not make anything complicated. So we'll have just the name of the status, right? And then what we could do is we could so every task will have a status. So we'll link that status to this. So status will not be a string. First of all, it will be a task status, right? And as soon as I save this, it automatically creates this particular field, which is status ID or something like task status ID. Yeah, it has created task status ID and it has linked. So cool. That's pretty okay. That's pretty good. But hold on. Every task will have some status, right? That's good. And now every projects will have several statuses as well, because okay, so every task will belong to some project. So we can say project, okay, and then yeah, and then we can do that. Every task will belong to a project, so we can say project ID. So you'll have to give a project ID, and then belongs to whatever that project. Yeah, that's good. So every task will belong to a project. Good stuff. Let's write the migration now. So npx prisma migrate dev, which will help us to create the migration. So we'll say task status, right? That's what we made, and there you go. That has applied our migration. Everything good. So the next thing what we have to do is we have to in the trpc we'll have to create ways to create tasks. So let's do that next. So we'll go and say tasks.ts, and then we would need to create a router, or I don't know how to pronounce that, but let's call it tasks router. So tasks router, and we'll call it router, right, which is trpc router. And then we can keep passing all of the stuff which we need over here, and we can use our protected procedure for creating the actual functions. So the next thing we will have first is create task status, right? That's the thing we'll be having. So that should come under projects though. Like that's just I feel that shouldn't come under tasks. Let's create a project. Of course, that's should that come under? Yeah, that should be a property of. Yeah, that should be a property of. So let's create project, create task status, or like create task status, right? So yeah, so right, so I don't know, it's just creating the stuff. The AI is just, I don't know how much correct it is. First thing, I just don't trust this. So I'll say const. So it's saying some input, and then it says the name should be whatever that name is, and it should belongs to this. That's not what we want. So create status, and then we'll say protected procedure dot input. So for the input for this, what for creating a task, we would need a task name and a project ID. So this will be an object of two stuff, which is a task name, which should be a string, and project ID, which should be also a string, right? Great. So two things, and then this is a mutation, and then we can say async, and then we'll have input, and then we'll have context. Both of them is kind of important because context has all our users and stuff like that. And then what we can do is can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. First of all, this is not how it should be. I think it belongs to, yeah, that's how it is. There you go. So correct, right? So it will link this to this particular project ID, and if it doesn't exist, this wouldn't work. So you'll have to give the correct project ID. But before that, whatever this project ID you're passing, let's make sure that this project ID belongs to that particular user. So this project should belong to that particular user. So this should belongs to that user. So I can say clerk ID, and then I can say ctx.clerk ID. Yeah. So what I'm saying over here is this project itself should belong to the user. Like, so a user, like for a project A, the user, like some other user shouldn't be able to modify it if it doesn't belong to that particular user's project. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to explain. Yeah, so this is pretty good. This looks good. So create task statuses. First of all, this shouldn't be plural status. It should be status. Yeah, that's pretty much okay. That's, yeah. So status, and the next thing what we should have is we should have the ability to delete a status, but I'm not sure how would we handle this, because if the statuses will be applied to some tasks, then that's kind of an issue, because yeah, so no deletion of status right now. We will not have that feature for now. We might think about that later on. So we have create task status, and then we'll have a get task status for a particular project. So const get all tasks statuses. I think that's how you write statuses. So we'll say query, and then before the query, they should have an input which should have a string, which is the task ID, which is the project ID, right? And then yeah, so is it correct? So find all where, so all the task status which belongs to this is stupid, it's not correct. Belongs to the project, which is the project ID, which is correct, and belongs to the user. Yeah, that's pretty much correct. So get and then we can place this over here. So you can say get all task status. Good stuff. And then what we can do is we can use this stuff. Okay, so let's have that stuff down. Okay, so yeah, so let's integrate this with our front end. So let's go to the settings page, and let's quickly say let's fetch all the statuses. First of all, this is not required. Yeah, so we'll say all the so this is like data, all the task statuses. So we'll say, so this is all the statuses, and then we can say trpc dot dot project. Oh, we haven't passed that to our index dot. So this is, oh, that's already there. So the project is there. So that, yeah, makes sense. So we can say projects dot get task statuses. Right, get all task statuses. Great. And then we have to pass the task ID over here. How will we get the task ID? Pretty simple. In the args we can get this. So we'll have like params. I don't know, we should do this like this or not. So let's say args, and then we'll have a params, and then we'll have project ID. Yeah, that's how it will be. And yeah, that's pretty much how it is. And then we can say args dot params dot project ID, and we have to pass this. Get all task statuses. I don't know. Oh, because okay, so this is dot. So it shouldn't be like this, because this is not a function. Yeah, so use query, and we should be able to pass that over there. Great. So we have all the statuses, and yeah, we can show that over here in this section. So if there is no statuses, we'll say simply there's no status, please create one, something like that. So we can say if statuses dot length is equal to 0, and then we can simply show empty, right? And we can show title no statuses have been created for this project, right? So it will be something like this, which should be the case, I guess. right now. I don't know why it is just not showing that. uh hmm what is the status is? This is weird. Why would you not be visible? There's something wrong. We'll have to see what is wrong. Status is this is in the client, right? So it's undefined. Okay, that's pretty weird. Why will it be undefined? Oh, because this should be await. No, this shouldn't be await. Essentially this is undefined. Wait, let's have it like loading state. So we'll say status is loading or something like that. So there's like is loading, right? So we'll say status is loading, right? We can control Z. Yeah, so we can go over here and we can say status is loading, and if they are loading, we can have status is loading, and then we can simply show the loading whatever we created. And there's something, definitely a title, loading statuses. Oh, this is taking a long time, bro. It's just not returning anything. I think we are doing something wrong over there. I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure we did something wrong in the place where we are handling the statuses. So 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 this should be await, and this should be async function, because yeah. So this is await async, and this is find many. Good. And we should npx prisma migrate deploy. We're going to deploy all the stuff. Yeah. So let's refresh. It's pretty weird why it is taking so long, like a lot of time. Yeah. One more thing, I think the loading is just a little bit too much. Like the height is at least like for it's too much. So we'll say 100. I don't know why it is not working. There's something definitely wrong going on over here. So not sure why was that 1 second, bro? Like the 1433 milliseconds. That's insane. Let's see. Get all task statuses is basically a query which returns this. And we say where belongs to. I think we are writing the wrong query, so let's try to optimize that. Where the let's have all of them. Let's see what happens. We say loading statuses, then still nothing. Okay, why is that doing that? I think it is all correct over here. There's something else wrong. There's something wrong. Setting. Yeah, there you go. There's something else wrong. So what is wrong? We'll have to figure that out. So it says if that length is 0, then show this. Fair enough. I think the project ID which we're getting is not correct or something like that. I don't know what's the issue. Are we even reaching here? This is insane. I don't know why this is taking so long. Prisma. Hey man, can we connect on LinkedIn? Sure, bro. I think already shared my LinkedIn. Do you want it again? Okay, I have a lot of messages on LinkedIn for some reason. Let's go to my profile. View profile, copy stuff, paste over here. There you go. I have sent you my LinkedIn. Okay, great. So why is it taking that long? That's the answer. That's the question I want to answer. Let's say if we just did not had anything, right? So let's have like this kind of stuff. Would it be taking that long? So you don't have any statuses. You don't have no statuses were created or something like that. It's very big, bro. Why is it so big? Why is it so big? Uh, let's have it. Let's make it small. First of all, that the status, it shouldn't be that big. For no reason that should be that big. Just send you a connection request. Where's the connection request, bro? Here. Accepted. Done. Okay. So this, whatever this is, which is empty dot, I think I did created an empty dot whatever this is. So this is too big, and it shouldn't be 2XL for no reason. This shouldn't be 2XL. First thing. And is it bold? No. I think this is not even like, why would this be bold? Yeah. Margin top 4 doesn't make sense. It should be 2 or something like that. And again, the height is, I don't know, 300 height doesn't make sense. It should be 200. Yeah, great. So no status has been created for this project, and yeah, and we are not finding any status. I mean, we are just, I don't know why this is not working. I mean, this should be fast. This should be fast. Yeah, this is fast. Let's call it await prisma dot task status dot find many, where the, yeah, that's pretty much correct. It doesn't make sense why it's like taking that long. Whatever, it took so long, bro. Why is it taking that long? I think just there is like too many connections made or something like that. That error is happening. Let's try to close the server and try to open this again. Oh, you got an offer, bro. That's amazing. That's amazing. Finally, that's amazing. I wasn't expecting that someone would actually like come to me and say they got an offer. Congratulations, first of all. I got an offer on campus from a SBC company, but they have a bond of 2 years. Bro, you have a bond, so but I mean, it depends on how much they are paying you. Like if they're paying like, I don't know, it depends how much they're paying. Like 2 years not very bad, first of all, and second, it depends, bro, how much they're paying you, to be true. Like just try to negotiate with them, like, you know, 2 years is a lot, but it depends on the package. Very, very frank. Okay, so I don't know why it is taking so long. Let's do some question answer. 4 LPSC. Bro, don't do it. Simple, don't do it. Starters will give you 6. Startups will give you 6, like normal these days. Don't. 4 is a, like, getting stuck at 4 for 2 years is a lot. Is not good. 4 is, as a software engineer, 4 is like not good. Yeah. For 4, I don't say commit your 2 years. Search for somewhere else. What is the role like? Is it like full stack FSD or something else? Like, you know, is it like React stuff? How's that going on? Let's do the task stuff tomorrow, bro. I'm pretty much done with this stuff right now. So we created sprints today, settings today, and tomorrow we might start with tasks. So, and we have to finish the statuses. we'll do it. Let's do question answers. Anybody have any questions? We'll do that today. This is kind of good stuff. They'll train us for 6 months and then they'll allocate projects. What will they train you about? Like what is it about? Is it like FSD or like something else like DevOps, or what is it? What's the project about? An overview. Oh, so they will be teaching you what is the project about for 6 months, bro. How long is the project, bro? I mean, come on, like I'm pretty sure they will be introducing you to the technologies that which they are using, and like, yeah, so 6 month project, yeah, FSD, right? Yeah. So still 2 months bond is a lot. Try to negotiate with your HR if there is one. But take it, bro. Right now the job market is like so shitty. I mean, it's so bad. I don't want to make all of you guys feel bad, but it's so bad that, yeah. But 4 LPA, I mean, come on, like these campus placements are so, usually these campus placements are very bad for some reason. Like they come with a mentality that all these are freshers and we don't want to give them like a lot of packages for some reason. How many of you were able to crack like a successful on campus this time? Even IITs are facing issues in like getting fulfilled. Like, I'll just show you. IIT on campus CS, I think even they were facing a lot of issues. So I don't know, like let's go to news. So bro, and and all these, you listen to this, right? So like 99% placement and all, just go to the top IITs, right, and just ask them what is your base placement, like what do you hire at, like what is the median of your like placement, like what is the median package which you get, like what is the mid package. It's not a lot, and I was quite surprised by this. Like they're hired at like something like 12 to 20 LPA, 12 to 18 and 19, like something like that, which is insane. Like I was like, bro. I mean, usually you hear like all these 40, 50 LPAs and like 1.2 crore LP, like all those packages. They're just 1, 2, or like hardly 10 out of all of them. That is something surprising. I think we're gonna close the stream. If there's any question from anyone, we'll take that. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, and we'll see. They just, okay, so someone, I have 4 messages. Okay, cool. Okay, then thank you everyone. Have a great night, I don't know, and enjoy your day, and thank you. Bye bye. We'll meet in the next part of this, or I'll create some other video, like something good. We'll see. So thank you, bye bye, and good night. No, I was asking about overview of your project. Oh, you were asking about my project. Okay, it's basically, bro, and sprint management stuff. So like, you can create tickets on this, you can create like all your tasks on this, and you can manage it through like time, that how are you going to deliver that. So it's like, it's just going to help you manage your tasks within the sprints. A very simple version of that, basically. That's what this is. So yeah, okay then, thank you everyone, bye bye.